Perfect.
Welcome to the Rise of the Goddess Collective. I am your host, Michelle Julian, and we are here today to interview this super powerful, juicy woman. Her name is Sara Ferrer. Sara is the creator of Zoey Koko. Yeah, I like the name, don't you? In 2017, upon noticing that moms faced a dilemma when purchasing bath and body products for their daughters. Does she choose the fun or the synthetic ingredients, or a product with clean ingredients that lacks visual excitement? It's a dilemma, with over 80% of young girls using personal care products to express themselves and build confidence. Zoey Koko offers a line of bath and body products that combine the safety demands of a mom with the expressive wants of her daughter. As a former esthetician, within over 10 years of experience, she uses her skincare expertise to ensure that the ingredients in each product are safe and are great for basically not worrying about developing any sensitive skin issues. Additionally, a portion of every sale goes to the Big Sister Association to ensure that the healthy development of girls everywhere. Zoey Koko is currently in 155, let's just say that again, 155 independent gift and toy stores across the country in the last 10 months alone. And this is the most exciting part, I feel anyway, will be pitched live on a nationally syndicated show, America's Big Deal, this winter. Wow, that's just so exciting. I am so excited for you. I know that this was not an easy journey and that you had to make some really tough decisions in your personal life, in your business life, and this audience loves to listen to the rags to riches story. So we want the audience to know that it's possible if you are willing to do that deep looking within, because that's you being and becoming this change maker for women, that they too can create a product or create a service, be creative, and with a lot of discipline and pivoting and hard work, you can make things happen. So let's just start at the beginning. What happened? How did you actually create this Zoey Creativity fun body ball?
You know what? Sometimes I ask myself the same question when I'm like looking at the product line. I go, who created this? Oh, I did? Okay. It's really fascinating to see over the last 3 or 4 years how it's evolved. But long story short, I always loved skincare, self-care. I've always believed in grooming as a way to feel good about oneself. I don't subscribe to the idea that aging is a bad thing. I think graceful aging is a beautiful thing. Embracing this, the idea of wisdom as we age is a beautiful thing. And I've been very blessed to come from a lineage of strong women who have embraced that. And so I took that love of empowering others through self-care, and I became an esthetician after I decided that being an analyst was just not my thing. And I was an esthetician for 10 years. I loved chatting with all my clients. I was an esthetician in Milton, Massachusetts. My clients were primarily mothers or aunties or grandmothers who, again, they wanted, to feel good about themselves. But what I found was that in my conversations with these women, I oftentimes was encountered with a very negative self-image that women in particular face, because the beauty industry teaches us not really to like ourselves. Like yourself if you get this treatment, like yourself better if you can erase that fine line. And I just don't subscribe to that at all. And I just found that the industry was changing, and it became more of, more of self-hate than self-love. Again, not because women don't want to love themselves, but because we are constantly told, beginning in our youth, that it's not good enough. And so every single client of mine always would say the same thing. They'd always say, yeah, maybe I don't feel great about myself, or maybe, maybe I'm conflicted with, who I want to be and what I am or how I look, whatever it may be. But my daughter, I want her to know she's good enough just as she is. My niece, I want her to know she doesn't have to change a thing about herself. My granddaughter can be the next president of the US, and I don't want her to ever think any differently. And I realized that there was this empowerment message through self-care, through personal care products, that we get when we feel good, when we like who we are, when we use products that make us exude confidence, then we feel like we can achieve all these things. And so I also just realized that here I am with this skincare expertise. Here I am realizing that young girls, beginning at age 5 or 6, are going to start dabbling in bath and body products. That's kind of the beginning of their quote unquote beauty journey, even though I stay away from the beauty word, because it can unfortunately denote a lot of mixed messages. But it's the beginning of their journey of expressing themselves, of figuring out what they like, what they dislike. Is their favorite lotion scent vanilla? Is it tropical sherbet? What colors do they like for their bath bombs? And so I created Zoey Koko as a way to respond to a couple of different things. One, I wanted young girls to have products that made them feel good, that told them that they were good enough, that said that, to feel smiley in your own skin, so that they understood that the journey of self-care began with loving yourself. Two, I wanted to create products that, mom wants to have a spa day with her daughter, or grandma wants to treat her daughter to something. But I would often hear that the products on the market were either super fun to look at and glittery and colorful, and little Susie Q wanted those products so bad, but mom or grandma or auntie would say they're just full of synthetic crap. I don't want to buy them that.
Mhm.
And so I thought, okay, I've been an esthetician for 10 years.
Mhm.
Let me start a line that is safe, that is fun, that introduces young girls to bath and body. It allows them to express themselves and to be creative, because kids are going to use a glitter gel differently than adult will, or they'll use a body butter differently, in the sense that they want to play with it, they want to touch, they want to feel, they want to experiment with what it could be. So recognizing that there's a need out there, and creating a line that responded to what young girls wanted
Mhm.
and what the customer, aka mom, wanted. And
Mhm.
that was the beginning of Zoey Koko. So that was about 4 years ago. And 4 years later, we are in gift and toy stores, and we are just getting, we're getting all the good feedback that we hope for, which is, I've been looking for this my entire life. This is perfect.
Mhm. Mhm. So how did you innovate and pivot out of being an esthetician and really going all in with your products?
Oof, yeah, that it's easier said than done. And that's the first thing I think I'd like to say, is that I think as women, we oftentimes feel like we have to just pivot on, like this, and we just have to do it all, in 24 hours. It took time. It took self-confidence to say, I can do this. You got to put yourself out there. And really, it also took COVID. When COVID hit, the spa shut down. It forced me to say, okay, the spa is not going to get back to normal for a while. I know Zoey Koko had some life it breathed into it. It had some legs attached to it because I was doing craft fairs and I was getting out there in the public pitching the product, and there was certainly some good response, but it wasn't paying the bills. It was a side hustle. It was a passion project. And what really made me go 100% full force forward, two things. One, the support that I got from my family, the support that I got from my boyfriend, which I can't emphasize enough. The difference between doing it and not doing it in many instances is having support say, do it. We love you either way, do it, be who you want to be, take it to the next level. And so I had that. And also, I had a retailer. We were in a couple of retail stores in the Boston area. And I had one retailer who just, he said to me, this is a great product. This sells. People love it. If you ever want to get out there, if you ever want to get connected into the retail space, let me help you. Again, that's support. And I decided, I'm going to do this. I'm going to call up that retailer and I am going to ask him, how do I get, not just in stores in Connecticut or Boston, gift and toy stores, how do I go, national? And so from there, the wheels just began. That conversation took place November of last year, 2020. By January 1st of 2021, I had quit my job as an esthetician. And like my father often says, his kind of motto for diving into these mammoth obstacles is no guts, no glory. And I took a lot of inspiration from, my dad moved here from Spain at 27 years old, didn't speak a lick of English, and made something of himself. And I thought, you know what? At the time I was 30, I was 35, 34, 35. And I just thought, listen, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me see what I can make of this. And I just got to work. And from there, and we're talking January 1st of this year, got an office, stopped trying to work out of like a storage space with no heat and no light and trying, the back room in my apartment was like my makeshift, fulfillment center. I got an office space. I started networking and getting a lot of mentors and people who could help me. And then I put myself out there. The sales reps loved the line. So they started pitching it to stores. One store became 5 stores, 5 stores became, 100 stores. And now we're at 155 stores because I found the right sales groups that understood what Zoey Koko could be, that understood the need it filled within the gift and toy store space. And they ran with it. And so I asked for help, and then I had enough confidence in myself to say, I can do this. And that's how I got here.
Well, that is quite the journey.
Yeah.
You mentioned your age very quickly there. You're in the chapter of your life in your 30s.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So here at the Rise of the Goddess Collective, we talk about the chapters of our lives, right?
Yes.
So here you are in your 30s, and it's really about figuring out who you are, who you want to become, and how you're going to leave a legacy.
Right.
So, because this is what you're doing. You're living a life that's going to create a legacy, and this legacy is going to be part of a huge paradigm shift for women, for girls, for people that want to build confidence in themselves. So I am really curious. Let's dig a little deeper into your chapter of your life. Now, you say you're asking for help, you're asking for support, and you're getting it, but you needed to be discerning of all of those moves, like you're playing chess, right?
Yep. Yep.
So let's talk about that, how you, with your own intuition and your own wisdom, because you are the goddess, We are always being and becoming the goddess. Different levels of goddessing. And so now you're at that level where you are going to be on a TV show.
Yes.
That's like, okay, a totally different level that you were playing literally in January, and now it's only October. It's not even a year later.
Yeah.
How did you make those discerning moves? We want to know. The audience wants to know.
Yeah. I think I'm a work in progress. I haven't figured it all out, nor do I claim to, but I will say this. I have found in my experience through talking with other women that there's a lot of similarities that we have where I'm a pleaser. I like to make sure everyone's needs are taken care of, sometimes at the expense of my own. I will shave off an hour of my day if you need me to do something for you, even though I really needed that hour. And so the first step was this. I knew that I had to start saying no. No, I can't do that. No, I can't be there. No, I can't keep juggling this job with working Zoey Koko. So I have had to say no to certain things, and no, not in a negative way. And remembering that no isn't a negative thing. No frees up my time. No makes me a more positive person because I'm not feeling conflicted anymore about having to do something and wanting to do something. And so the first step was saying, if I'm going to get to where I want to be, being full-time with this, I have to say no to this esthetician job. And when my clients beg me, but who will take care of me and they know ultimately, because these people support me and because they love me. They say it, but in the second breath, they'll say, but we love and support you. Reach for the moon. Don't forget about us when you make it. And so the important thing is, again, having that support that propels you forward. Because if not, saying no can be very difficult to people who don't want you to move forward. So finding your tribe, finding your people, the right people understand on a Friday night if you can't come to dinner because you're working for your baby, for your passion project, now turned full-time job, they will understand that. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, why not? Why not me? If I heard this story and it was anybody else, I would be listening and thinking, hell yeah, go for the gold, crush it, girl. You got it. Why can't I become my biggest fan? Why am I everyone else's biggest fan? But yet when it comes to my own journey, I go, oh, no, it could never really happen. Oh, that's so much work. I don't really think I'm that smart. And so it was me saying, girl, you got this. Be the queen, be the goddess that you hype everyone else up to be. Take all that energy and do it. And so whether it was contacting the sales reps, whether it was when I got an application 4 months ago from a former colleague of mine who said, there's an application for this new TV show on USA Network called America's Big Deal. They're trying to get, rising entrepreneurs on their national TV show. My first thought was, I'll never get picked. But that thought literally lasted for a second. And then I thought, why not me? Why not me? Why not?
Right.
Why not be the god? What would the goddess in me say? Why not you? I applied 4, 5, 6 rounds later. I will be on this show in December. I believe it's December 9th, pitching my Zoey Koko products live to a live TV audience. The viewers can call in and purchase the product, and there's a panel of judges that you are pitching the product to. And if you sell the most on air, you get a big box store deal. So
oh my God,
it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the business, for my soul, for my confidence, for my God.
To lose. You have nothing
Exactly.
to lose. Are they flying you there?
It's in New Jersey. So I'm taking the train. We've done some promos already and it's a quick train ride. But yes, if it was in California, they'd fly me. But in this case, it's East Coast. They've been lovely. And like you said, because I always say this to my team, we got nothing to lose. We're like a motley crew of like some badass goddesses who are each like doing our thing, and we're each driving our own Zoey Koko bus. And I just look at them and this is fun. When you have nothing to lose, it becomes really fun because My life doesn't depend on this.
No.
Certainly this will help the business in many respects, but let's take a step back.
Right.
My life's not going to end regardless of what happens. I'm still going to have support and love and friendship.
Right.
And if nothing else, this isn't a journey I get to experience with you because I'm talking about it. You're on my journey now. I get to experience it with my team, with people want to be part of something bigger and better with purpose. And
Absolutely.
this is me allowing people to be part of that. Where so many times I've been part of other people's journeys, I now realize I can give back by collectively huddling people up and saying, get on the bus, the Zoey Koko train, because we're going. And people buy into it because it's girl power. It's fun. It's like, yeah, let's do it. We got nothing to lose. So we're very excited.
You are on fire. You're on fire in all the ways a goddess is.
Yes.
And the funny thing is like, what I find interesting is you are always tapping in to your intuition, right? You're always kind of asking the higher self, what's the next step? Really,
Yep.
you're not letting the ego get in the way. This is not your ego driving. It's your highest self, highest purpose, energy. And so the thing is like, let's share with the audience kind of like what your practices are to tap into that, because you can't be like, head down, working all the time to keep this vibration, this frequency that you have. It's a thing that you're doing, you're naturally doing it. You've obviously, like you said, you've built yourself to this. It's like you've had some warm up. It's like, you're running a marathon. You're not doing a sprint here with this whole journey. So kind of share what's your process of your tapping in and tuning in, and talk about when you're tapping in and when you end up losing it. Let's just show and share with the audience like what that looks like.
Yeah. Well, I think the very first thing is you have to have purpose in what you do. You have to find your reason why. I started Zoey Koko. My end goal is not a dollar amount. My end goal is seeing thousands of young girls use this product and love themselves and share it with their friends. And, oh, you try this one. No, you try this one. Oh, let's put the glitter in your hair. That is my end goal, to empower young girls, to make them feel good, to be a vehicle for them to laugh, to socialize, to feel good about themselves. And so that purpose is rock solid why I am doing this. And I never lose sight of that ever, because even on a bad day, and I have them, and there are times I'm conflicted about what move to make next, there's no roadmap for this. The best I can do is an educated guess. I can reach out to my resources, which I have, and I have to continue to do that when I am unsure of something. But ultimately, the final decision is on me. And so what I do is I say, okay, does this next step align with the purpose of why I started Zoey Koko? If it aligns with the empowerment message, then I move forward with it. If this next business deal feels completely off, it doesn't feel like this person understands Zoey Koko, it feels like that, they don't value the made in the US, the clean ingredients, the giving back to the big sister association. They're just in it because, I don't know, it looks pretty and all. That's good. But do you really get me? Because those relationships eventually won't flourish if people don't understand who Zoey Koko is, because Zoey Koko is ultimately an embodiment of who I am. And so it's very important that that I remember why I'm doing this, that I link up and connect with people who want to be part of this story and embrace the purpose. And on a bad day, where I just feel like things aren't going my way, and that happens. And I think as women, we need to comfort, express, verbalize this as much as we can, because we are oftentimes, we kind of swallow our sadness, and we swallow our own, self-doubt. We just figure everyone else has it figured out. I try to create a culture within Zoey Koko where we can openly say, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So let's try to figure this out together. Like I I am not the captain of this ship 24/7. I am not. I'm
Mhm,
going to give you a general direction of where we're going based on the purpose that I have, but
mhm,
I'm going to take your input, whether it's the graphic designer or
mhm,
it's my employees who help with fulfilling orders. If there's a better way to get to that end goal,
mhm,
share it with me. This is not a hierarchy. This is a group of women coming together to collaborate, to get from point A to point B while having fun. And the group, the tribe that I have that I've created,
mhm,
they get it. This is fun for them. This is like, oh, we forget it's work because any self-doubt I have, any decision, I don't hold it in.
mhm,
I'm very honest. I don't know what I'm doing. What do you guys think? And they'll go, well, what about this? And ultimately, people want ownership. People want to feel connected to it.
mhm,
And
mhm.
that's how we keep the Zoey Koko, the Zoey Koko wave going is we realize that we don't live alone on an island of decision making,
Right.
that everyone's input is welcome.
Mhm,
And on a bad day, I don't expect myself
mhm.
to show up to work and to say, everything's great today. I'll go, today sucks. And I'm going to be over here eating my bagel and kind of a pissy mood for 20 minutes. But guess what? I will snap out of it because with the energy and the vibe that I've created with the women that work here, or, the Zoom calls I do with my team, you can't feel bad for long when your energy and your aura is so clean and optimistic and positive.
Mhm,
So it elevates all of us. And when they're having a bad day, they
mhm.
say, Sarah, your energy is contagious. And I go, likewise, when I'm having a bad day, they lift me up. So
That
it's turning
that's
to your tribe.
it's wonderful. So how many employees do you actually have for this whole process?
Yeah, not enough. No, not enough. As we scale, I'm like, oh gosh, we're all doing the jobs of 3 or 4 different people. Right now on our team, we have about seven women on the team. And again, we wear many hats. So no one is above, listen, I'm not above every now and then, having to label a product, or you have to wear many hats. You have to be okay with being not okay.
Right,
And you
right.
have to just kind of it's a daily pivot sometimes, like this is what we thought we were going to do, and this is what we're going to do now based on the needs. So we make it work.
I
Yeah.
think this is so important for the audience to hear this because, as we know, we see a lot of shiny object syndrome online about women entrepreneurs starting products, starting services. And I don't really think that people authentically are sharing the real journey, like of having to take a loan out
Yep.
to start a business. I mean, I'm sure, you've worked, pretty much 30 plus years. I'm sure you had some money, some savings, but that is never really enough to start a corporation like this, like a corporation that could potentially turn into like another Whole Foods, like conglomerate, you know what I mean? Like Whole Foods. Can you imagine what that would be like? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about that. Did you get anxious, in reference to funding and working with the banks and all of that? And did you have someone as a mentor guiding you through all that?
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that because when people see 155 stores and people see a 2,000 square foot office, they go, you made it. You must be making bank. You must be. And I go, we haven't broken even. like, like this is, it's money coming in, money going out, people need to get paid. And the last person to get paid is the owner. And that's okay. That's okay. Because I had to learn how to be okay with that because that's how a business is built. You
Mhm,
have to be okay with putting a lot of money on the line.
mhm,
And the way that I was okay with it was I took a step back and said, to even be in a position where I can put this money on the line and still have a roof over my head and still
mhm,
have a meal at the end of the day, I'm so goddamn lucky
mhm.
because that's a privilege to be able to say, I can pursue my passion. And that demands just a moment of like, whoa, I'm here and I'm doing it. And if all hell breaks loose, I'm not going to be without a family that loves me. I'm not going to be without a roof over my head. So when you look at it that way, you go, hell, I'm just going to go full forward with it. It makes it a little bit more motivating when you think about, again, your purpose as opposed to your financial statement, because that can be scary. You know, I've invested everything I've earned into this business. My parents have been super helpful with, you know, keeping the ship afloat. And, you know, to say that I don't look at my bank account twice a day would be a lie, because I have to make sure, oh, you know, you can cash that check now. That's just the truth. It is day by day making it work. And I have learned to be okay with that. I've learned to be okay with that. Primarily because, again, my mother is my best friend. She's my greatest support. My whole family is my support. My father is wonderful, but my mom I talk to daily. And she's always reminded me again that, like, hey, you know what? To be looking at your bank account a couple times a day, to kind of be on pins and needles, that's called life. That's called life. You know, I myself don't have kids yet. You know, she said, well, wait till you have kids. Wait till you have college to pay for. Welcome to the real world where everyone's pins and needles. So the way I look at it is, this brings a level of humility and realness and honesty to the table that I think, you know, I'm blessed to be able to say, yeah, I have it all on the line. And now I understand when other people tell me their story, I'm able to relate to it better. And I'm also able to just be, hopefully, a resource for people who are in my position, you know, 3 years ago, where it go, how do you do this? How do you apply for a bank loan? You know, did you put all your money? How did you? We're completely bootstrapped. I tell people this. It's all, you know, all in with my money, family help, but it's never going to be enough. And then you have to be okay with saying it's never going to be enough. And we'll just deal with that. You know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it about the next level. We'll have a good plan. We'll organize. My boyfriend is extremely supportive in that way of thinking, where he constantly says, listen, if you want to get to level 10 and you're at level 2, realize money's always not going to be enough. Just realize it. Realize the money's going to go out the door. You got to be okay. You got to be okay with it early on. If you believe in your passion, if you believe in what you're doing, then realize that there are huge companies out there that are in the same exact boat as yours, but they are completely going forward because they understand that there's a pathway to success. So trust the process.
It's like the stock market.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's a risk.
The money that goes into a savings account or a checking account is growing dependent on the deposits of the money, period. Not the fluctuations of life and flow of who's buying, who's not buying this month, this week, and so on. I mean, that's why the stock market is going up and down, up and down, up and down. And it goes up and people get all excited, and then it goes down a little bit, it goes up. I mean, and this is what's probably happening with your product. It's all about this, you know, it's whoa, it's all this energy, and you're riding it like a goddess, riding like a warrior goddess, riding on your horse, and you've got your head up and you're looking straight ahead, and you're saying to everybody behind you, come with me, come with me. And in that in itself is bravery. You're so brave. Your confidence, your bravery, your compassion, your understanding, and really truly being the change that you're looking for. And I know, because you and I have had this conversation about really aligning yourself with other people in your life that want to raise up your vibration genuinely and want to help serve your mission. So creating that community, and we know that, you know, you're 30 something, and even though we're doing a lot of things online, are you slowly going back to like networking and connecting offline? Are you doing more of this connecting and networking online through Facebook, LinkedIn? How do you do the whole social media online stuff?
Yeah, certainly I haven't been to any like I'm thinking I've done some in-person events like trade shows this year. It was our first trade show. I was
Mhm,
in Vegas. I was in Minneapolis for the Zoey Koko related events, which certainly are like huge networking opportunities.
mhm,
Uh, but besides that, a lot of Zoom calls with like whether it's the sales reps who are have Zoey Koko in their portfolio and they want to call with me to be like, we got your catalog, but can you talk through it? We want to meet you, why you started it. So a lot of Zoom calls for that, connecting the people on LinkedIn. It's something, the whole networking topic is something that, it's very important and it's something that I certainly can improve on. And I'm always at kind of this, I'm always at this, I don't know if I want to call it this conflict, but I want to be very authentic with people and I want that in return.
mhm.
And sometimes with networking is it can come off as very superficial. It can come off as very like very surface level. And that I think we've all experienced it at some point where it's like, oh, another networking event where you're grabbing, your little pigs in a blanket and you're giving the same spiel and it's draining. It's really draining just to do it for the sake of doing it. And so what I've realized is, again, if there's a purpose to it, if you connect and reach out to people who have an energy, a vibe, a purpose that's similar, it no longer is quote unquote networking. It doesn't feel like networking to me. It feels like creating friendship, creating, new relationships, whether it's professional or a new friend. That is super important to me. So it's shifting my mind and like, why am I doing this? Am I just doing it because this is what a business owner does and someone tells me I have to do it? Or am I doing it because, well, it's about authentic connection and getting to the next level with the right people and then helping people get to the next level in their journey?
That's beautiful. I love that. And that's what I think really the Rise of the Goddess Collective podcast really wants the audience to know, that genuinely we are all here to support each other as women,
Right.
rising up together. And we can do it collectively as a community, and it can be real. It doesn't have to be shiny, it doesn't have to be fake. It can be fun and it can be different and it can be any way you want it to be. It doesn't have to be a certain way to grow and connect. So I want you to share your secret of how you stay so positive. You are so positive. I met you last week or the week before, and the thing that left me was like, wow, someone that is such a powerhouse goddess
Mm.
and is going through a lot. You're going through a lot. You are building something huge. It's like so much bigger than you. And the whole time we talked, you were just so positive. So, where are your supplements? What do you take? What's your secret?
You know, I my secret is perspective. Like that's I've always it's something that I feel like I've gotten from my family where it's a gift once you recognize how powerful perspective is. Whenever I think what could go wrong, I think what could go right. And I also remember that, whatever I'm going through, whatever's hard for me, someone wishes that that was their hard. There's 1,000 other things that are harder than building a business. Raising kids by yourself, going through a nasty divorce, having cancer, those things are freaking hard. So what
Mm,
I think, I'm not saying building a business isn't hard, but I'm also saying there's a solution to it. So I'm
mhm.
not gonna I'm not gonna have a pity party and go, oh, this is so hard. Feel bad for me. I mean, yeah, I have bad days, but God, I'm gifted. This is a gift. Life has been a gift that I'm at this point where this is my level of hard. Because if this is hard, I'm damn lucky. And so perspective is a beautiful thing. I've always had it. Again, I believe it really comes from my family being grounded. And also, you know, growing up, we never were without anything, but I saw my parents work hard. I saw my parents, you know, my mom used to go to the grocery store with her little calculator because we were, you know, very strict on a budget. And so understanding like hard is having a certain amount of money to feed your 3 kids, thinking about college, having a husband who, you know, who has come from a different country, who doesn't know the language, who has to now get a job. That's hard. And so it's important that we recognize that everyone's journey is different. And again, I'm not suggesting that what I do is easy, but it's the hard that many people wish they had. And remembering that I'm lucky that this is the hard that I'm dealing with because I have support and we're going to get to the next level eventually.
Exactly. So it's really a mindset is what you're talking about. Your perspective is a mindset of, yes, this is hard, but I'm lucky. And that seemingly seems to be the reoccurring theme with you whenever I ask you a question. Your mindset, it's like you do this almost like I can sense it. Like it's like things can be hard and they can also be easy if I ask for help. You know, things can be scary and I'm figuring out how to work with the fear. So it's that constant ebb and flow of you resetting, reframing your energy. And that's what's really, you know, filling your goddess wisdom. And, you know, I want the audience to know, like, what would you say, like, is one of your favorite things that you do, you know, in your personal life to kind of just, you know, tap into some fun things? Do you go for walks? Do you bike? What are the things that you do with your personal time?
I think, you know, for me, I love biking. I love being outdoors. And honestly, I love, you know, we blast the music in the Zoey Koko office and we do a good dance party every now and then. I like to like shake it out and I like to be silly. I like to be goofy. I never was very good at being the formal conservative Sara who, you know, is very buttoned up. That's not me. I don't want to be that way. That person to me is not fun. I want to be relatable, fun, goofy, quirky, because those are the people I look up to, who just, you know, whether whether it can be something like, you know, I've done yoga before, I believe in meditation, but every now and then I kind of laugh when I'm in a yoga class and all I'm thinking all class is like, am I having spaghetti and meatballs for dinner? Or am I having steak? And then like I laugh and I'm like, this is literally what I'm not supposed to be focused on during yoga. But laughing at myself and saying like, hey, sometimes, you know, going outdoors and riding my bike, sometimes I go with, you know, with just to hear the birds chirping and the air and breathe the fresh air. And that's therapeutic and nice. And sometimes I put my headphones on and I'm rocking out to like some crazy music. And those, basically you can be whatever you want to be when it comes to de-stressing. It can be silence, it can be dancing, allowing myself to have that space to express myself in whatever fashion I choose to, without being like, oh well, you know, I got to do this meditation and I have to, you know, feel the inner goddess. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I cut the meditation short because I'm hungry.
Right, right. So
That's okay.
you're listening, you're tuning in and
Yeah,
listening. So that helps you take care of yourself, which
correct.
is really your whole, you know, mission. Your whole
Yeah,
mission is help other people start tuning in to what feels good and taking care of themselves
right.
in a loving way instead of all of this limiting belief systems that we have programmed into us, like you were saying earlier before we started this whole journey talk, is that we are all like programmed to, you know, be a certain way as a human being. And then, you know, it's now the deprogramming of that as you get older because you realize some of those things are serving you and some of them are actually harming you. So it's a way for you to keep your mission fueled as you fuel your own self in the way that your mission is purposely doing what it's doing. Like you are living purposely. And that to me is living a lifestyle of a goddess. So it's just been so juicy to talk to you today. And I really would keep asking you like more and more questions and get even juicier. But I know that you have other things to do in your life. You can't just blah, blah, blah to me the whole time.
I love it. I love it. I'm like, talk, sure. How long do you have? 3 days? Perfect.
Exactly. So tell the audience, are you working on any like new projects besides this thing that's coming up in January? Are you working on any other new projects that you could maybe share that wouldn't like cause any like trouble with your marketing people, your salespeople?
Yeah, no, I'm an open book. I probably like, if anything, they're always like, stop oversharing, Sarah. No, that has not been finalized. And I'm like, we're going to Hollywood. And they're like, you are not going to Hollywood. You know, the fun thing, as you know, the TV show I'll be on, I believe it's December 9th. So that's a big project coming up. We just signed a deal with a Canadian distributor to be in gift and toy stores in Canada. And then in terms of our product line, you know, we are in retail, and with retail becomes, we love your product. What's the next line coming out? What's going to be new and fresh in 3 months, which it's a blessing because I can be creative, but it can feel like a burden because I'm like, I have to be creative again. And so I embrace it. And we, you know, right now we're bath and body products, but in the future, we want to come out with hair care. You know, we want to come out with more body washes. We want to come out with maybe a subscription box, a monthly subscription box for young girls that have all sorts of fun bath and body products and accessories. And eventually, you know, who knows, maybe we'll move into, maybe we'll make a glitter sunscreen at some point. I mean, the options are endless when it comes to our you know, product development, but my team and I, we throw everything down on a piece of paper and we look at trends, we look at what people are responding to, and we go from there. If people decide that our glitter gel is amazing, then we do more glitter gel in different shades. We just listen to what people want. And we also, you know, we say to ourselves, again, what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What is the worst that can happen? I love that. So what I want to do is share with the audience. I'm going to share my screen right now. And we're going to share your website that I just love the colors. Oh my God. Love the colors of your website. And I also watched your video.
Isn't it cute? Yeah.
Very cute. Oh my God. That must have taken a lot of time.
Yeah.
And planning and organizing. I'm just curious, what motivated you to do that video?
Yeah, it's our fun commercial. You know, the full thing, we have a little snippet of it in the header. The full thing's on YouTube. It's 30 seconds. You know what?
Well, let's watch it right now. So where do I go on your website to watch it?
Yeah. So actually, if you go to Zoey Koko on YouTube, you can find the video is uploaded. It's so darn cute.
Okay.
Yeah, so go to YouTube.
Okay, so I have to go to YouTube. I can't do it right here on the website?
No, unfortunately, only on the mobile version of the website.
Oh God, look at these girls. So like that, they make me like want to go have a party.
Honestly, they were so stinking cute.
Very cute. So YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay,
And YouTube. Zoey Koko. And while you're kind of looking that up, I'll just tell you, you know, the retailers all said to me, we love your product, but it's a lot of, you know, a lot of the marketing we did was photos of young girls holding these products. And they said, could you come out with a video or a commercial where the girls are using your product? And I thought, yeah. So I posted on Facebook, you know, a call for like tween girls to join us to have a spa party at home, kind of a fun commercial that we were doing, and people responded and said, yes, my daughter would love to do that. And
Oh, there it
so
is.
there you go.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Is this it? It's 1 minute?
Yep. We have a minute long and 30-minute long. That has mom testimonials in it. But yeah, you can play either one.
Let's do this one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so cool.
The Zoey Koko line is an empowering line for young girls, something for them to have fun, something for them to experiment with, but still remain a little girl. This is where I want to be. Not forever gonna leave. The way that you live for me.
They're not trying to make the children or the girls be something that they're not. It's more about enhancing who they are in a really positive, thoughtful way. My daughter loves getting the bath bombs because when you use those, they light up the whole entire bathtub, and then she gets to be in there and relax and smell all those really good smells.
It's a little confidence booster to smell good, to look good, to feel good. Everything's either too grown or too babyish. So I think that the Zoey Koko products were a happy medium for a parent like me who wants to keep my child a kid as long as I can.
Yeah.
So awesome. That is so
Those are just like local parents. I know all those parents. Like, these are not actors. These are just parents who responded to my Facebook post who were like, yeah, you're doing this fun commercial. I'd love my daughter to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they, jumped on the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. It's just,
we acknowledge we are
whoops,
on the line of
stop.
business.
You would be thinking, like someone might be thinking, everything's just falling into place.
Yeah.
How is everything just falling into place for this girl? Like, there could be a little envy, there could be a little jealousy kind of happening, maybe when someone like might watch the YouTube video or listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
So, what is your comment to that? Like, to that, like, potential feeling, because this is the thing, even though we want to believe that people don't feel competitive or, good enough to take a chance like this, there are going to be people that are going to be jealous. Let's just face it, So what do you say to those people that are saying, it just seems like, it's just too easy? How did, it's like, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
What do you say to those people?
First of those people, I've cried a lot of tears on my couch, not knowing what the next step was. A lot of tears involved in this. But no, I will tell you something that stuck with me very early on in my career. My first spa job 11 years ago, I was an esthetician starting from zero. And I had a boss who was Vietnamese, who came here when she was 15 years old, didn't speak a lick of English, had the formal education of a fourth grader. And she owned a spa in Milton, Massachusetts. And I remember her words, which were golden to me. She said, I'm going to tell you something about the spa industry. You're going to find that people are going to, be nosy and wonder, why does she get those clients and I don't have those clients? And why does she make more tips? And are people stealing from me? I mean, you could have in that type of setting, a very hostile environment, a very competitive, a very jealous environment, like any work setting. Mm-hmm. My boss said, I'm going to tell you something. I've been doing this for 20 years. At the time, she was booked out like 3 weeks solid. You could not get an appointment with her. And she said, you want to know the reason why? I put my head down and I worked. I didn't put my head up to wonder what Suzuki was making or doing. I didn't put my head up to see if Jessica's client who came to me last week is now going to her and now I'm pissed. I put my head down and said, if I do nothing else but just have one client every day that likes me after 20 years, I'm going to be pretty darn booked. And so she instilled that in me in that type of work setting of be confident in what you do, put your head down, work. The money will always come. Might not come immediately. The money will always come when your passion shows, because when you're more concerned about how she got there in a negative way, not in an inquiring way, but in a jealousy way, that will take away your energy, that will take away your focus. So don't allow that. Focus on you, work hard, the money always comes. And all that time invested in worrying about everyone else is only going to bite you in the butt. So it's not an easy journey. It's a long journey. I don't claim that it's all rainbows and butterflies. There's a lot of WTF moments when I look at the bank accounts and I'm like, I owe what? But that's real life. That's real life, because I'm focused on me, and people go, oh, what about your competitors and this and that? And yeah, of course I know I have competitors. Of course I want to be great. But I don't focus my day on how to make sure another company isn't great. I focus my day on how to make sure Zoey Koko is great. And that mentality, it gives me peace of mind, and it gives me more time to, again, when you're not worried about other people, you end up having some free time to take care of yourself.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming on Rise of the Goddess Collective. And I want to leave with one last question.
Yes.
What would you like the audience to know? And the question is, are you totally and completely committed to this path in a way that you are showing up purposely? And what would you just like, what's like one word you could just like, or even a sentence that you could leave with the audience so they could just tune in or tap into this amazing qualities that you have?
Yeah, I would say, listen, my phrase is girl power. Girl power, girl power, girl power. Lean on your friends, lean on your family. Life is a roller coaster. Lean into it. Whatever you're fearing, whatever you are putting off, do it. Do it. Just do it, because the longer you procrastinate, and that's how I found my path, because I stopped putting off for tomorrow. Life is short. Sometimes life ends too soon. What am I waiting for? I have 2 parents who are healthy. They're alive. They're well. I want them to see me successful. I don't use that as a pressure to be successful, but I use it as an opportunity to say, I have people who are around me who have supported me. I want them to see me succeed with their support. So channel your inner girl power, channel your inner goddess, recognize goddesses can have really bad days. Embrace that too. But girl power is my mantra. It's whatever. Girl, I can do, literally, sometimes I'll be in the car and I'll say, I can do this. And I'll say, Queen, you got this. Why? Because I would tell any other goddess out there she has it. So I have to tell myself that. And women are incredible. We are an incredible bunch when it really boils down to what we can do. We can birth children, we can be mothers, we can be, so much. We can be bosses, leaders, inspirations, we can be compassionate, but we can be business driven. Lean into all those things and recognize that girl power is an embodiment of how one really feels. So whether I quit tomorrow, which I don't plan on, girl power is not just a business thing. It's about showing up, being present, being purposeful, but knowing that ultimately the power is within you. And once you realize that, nobody can take that away. Nobody.
I love it. I love it. Well, my activation is your activation. Thank you so much for being part of the Rise of the Goddess Collective. And we will be talking to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Great afternoon. And I will follow up with you later.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate it.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.